Miguel Santos isn't the only one waking up. As his dying chip reveals the truth, cracks spread through the city's perfect illusion. Bella's starting to see it too, and so is young Kai, whose implantation has been moved up. Faced with losing himself, Kai chooses freedom. Underground, he finds a hidden school where children learn without control. And as more begin to question, one thing becomes clear. The future won't be optimized. It'll be remembered. This is the Night of Silence, where we explore what it means to live in a world where your memories are not your own, and where rebellion begins with remembering. I'm your guest narrator, Kate Clover.
Before we get on with the story, I want to tell you about our sponsor, the techno-thriller Demon Protocol. It's from author J.L. Spears, the same author that wrote this series. This story asks, what would happen if an advanced AI really wanted to take over the world? It wouldn't use killer robots and nuclear weapons. It would work in shadows, keeping its actions secret. And anyone who figured it out, like its creator Daniel Bennett, would sound like a conspiracy nut to anyone he asked to help him. Demon Protocol is released on audiobook, ebook, paperback, and hardcover. A link and discount code are in the description below. If you like these stories, please subscribe to this channel, drop a comment, or like this video. And now, on to the next episode of The Night of Silence. Episode 10. The Invitation. The manhunt for Miggs intensified overnight. His face appeared on public screens with the caption, "Dangerous individual. Chip malfunction causing violent delusions. Do not approach." The lie was so blatant it might have been funny if it weren't destroying his life. He moved through the city's pre-dawn darkness, hood up, avoiding main streets. 3 safe houses had been raided in the last 12 hours. The network was scattering, going deeper underground. Twice he doubled back, certain someone was following, but the streets remained empty. Still, the feeling persisted. His dying chip making him paranoid, or had enforcement found him? Kai's disappearance had triggered something. Perhaps authorities were realizing the scope of the resistance. The meeting point Elena had given him was an abandoned metro station, one of the originals from before the maglev system made them obsolete. The entrance was hidden behind a false construction barrier, marked with the resistance subtle symbols. Miggs descended into darkness, following phosphorescent paint that glowed faintly on the walls. The air grew cooler, carrying echoes of the past. Ghost trains that no longer ran, commuters who'd found more efficient routes. At the bottom, maintenance tunnels branched off like veins. He followed the marked path deeper until artificial light appeared ahead. Voices, many of them. The tunnel opened into a vast underground chamber, a forgotten hub where multiple lines had once converged. Now it served as the Resistance's main gathering point. Echo 7 wasn't just a code. It was this place, this community. Hundreds of people moved through the space, all bearing the telltale signs of chip failure or refusal. Some showed burn marks like his. Others had scars from removal attempts. A few, the young ones, had never been chipped at all. Miguel Santos. He turned to find a woman studying him with sharp intelligence. Mid-30s, Asian features, close-cropped hair that emphasized the scar where her chip had been. Everything about her radiated purposeful energy. "I'm Ek," she said. "Welcome to what's left of the free world." Ek. Started as a joke when I first arrived. Some of the other TIE members called me that, teasing me for trying to organize everyone when I could barely organize myself. Means boss in Thai. She smiled wryly. But I earned it. Now they use it without irony. This is incredible. How many? Thousands throughout the city. A small percent of the population scattered across safe houses, hidden communities, forgotten spaces. She gestured to the organized chaos around them. This is just one hub. We have many others, plus the satellite locations. Thousands sounds like hope. Until you realize we're just a small percentage of the population. But we document, we remember. She led him deeper into the station. Elena said you showed unusual clarity for someone newly awakened, that you're already helping others. Just doing what seems right. Which is more than most manage. Come, there's something you need to see. They passed through areas serving different functions. A medical station where failed doctors treated those the system abandoned. A school where unchipped children learned unauthorized history. A workshop where people built and repaired technology free from corporate control. We're not trying to destroy the system, Eck explained. We're trying to survive outside it, create alternatives, preserve what they're trying to erase. Is it enough? Some days, others, she shrugged. We lose people constantly. Raids, voluntary returns, despair. For every 2 people who wakes up, another chooses to go back to sleep. They reached a control room filled with old computers and newer equipment jerry-rigged together. Maps covered the walls. The city laid out in excruciating detail, marked with safe houses, enforcement patterns, chip distribution centers. And this is where we coordinate, X said. Track enforcement, plan supply runs, monitor chip failure rates. She pointed to a graph showing gradual increase over months. More chips are failing. The technology is pushing human neurology too hard. Natural failure. Partially. But also, she smiled, we might be helping. Certain frequencies interfere with chip function. Certain images trigger cognitive dissonance. Elena's murals, Yasmin's articles. They're not just art and journalism. They're weapons. Weapons. The chip maintains control through reward manipulation, making certain thoughts and actions feel satisfying. But introduce enough cognitive dissonance, real questions that conflict with chip-rewarded beliefs, authentic emotions that don't align with programmed responses, and the hardware has to work overtime trying to maintain that artificial harmony. Push it too hard, she gestured to her own scar. The chip literally burns out from the strain. You're deliberately triggering failures. We've created conditions where people's natural responses conflict with their chip's reward patterns. The dissonance causes the hardware to overheat, trying to maintain control. We're not forcing anyone to fail. We're just showing them things that make their chips work harder until they can't. A younger man burst into the room. Eck, news feeds, now! They turned to a wall of salvaged screens showing various news channels. All showed the same story. A massive chip malfunction event at Central Hospital. Dozens of medical staff experiencing simultaneous failures. Bella, Miggs breathed. On-screen enforcement vehicles surrounded the hospital. Reports spoke of contagion, of cascading malfunctions, of emergency protocols. Then the feeds cut to a spokesperson. The situation is contained. Affected individuals are receiving emergency treatment. There is no cause for alarm. Like hell there isn't, Eck muttered. 30 failures in one location. That's not malfunction, that's awakening. She turned to Miggs. Your girlfriend? She was supposed to be fixed today. Must have refused. And inspired others. Cascades happen. One person's resistance gives others permission. Eck moved to a communication station. All units, code 7. Mass awakening event at Central Hospital. Prepare for refugees. The room exploded into activity. People coordinating safe houses, preparing medical support, establishing secure routes. A well-oiled machine built from necessity. We've done this before, Eck explained. Every major awakening follows patterns. First, the headaches and disorientation as the chip starts failing. Then confusion as the artificial rewards fade. Things that felt meaningful suddenly feel hollow. Finally, panic as they realize how many memories never formed. How many experiences were filtered out. Then, the choice. Accept a new chip to restore that artificial contentment, or learn to live with authentic but difficult emotions. How many choose to stay awake? Maybe 20%. The rest can't handle the loss. Easier to forget again than live with what they've remembered. On the screens, figures in medical scrubs were being led out of the hospital. Some walked willingly. Others had to be carried. In the chaos, Miggs spotted Bella, standing tall, speaking rapidly to someone off camera, gesturing emphatically. "She's refusing treatment," someone reported, demanding to speak with media. "They're cutting the feeds." The screens went to standard programming. Weather reports, productivity statistics, feel-good human interest, as if a mass awakening hadn't just occurred. Will she make it here? If she's smart, if she's lucky, if she really wants to. Eck studied him. "You can't save her, Miggs. She has to save herself." "I know." "Do you? Because we lose too many people trying to rescue those who don't want rescuing, who say they want freedom but choose comfort when it gets hard." Before Miggs could respond, alarms sounded. Not raid warnings, but arrival signals. The first refugees from the hospital were coming in. Among the medical staff, Miggs thought he glimpsed a familiar profile. Someone in a Neuronics company jacket who turned away too quickly. But in the chaos of processing refugees, he lost track of the figure. His mind playing tricks, probably. Who from Neuronics would risk coming here? They stumbled through the tunnels, led by network guides. Doctors, nurses, technicians, all in various stages of chip failure. Some clutched their heads, fighting the headaches that marked neural inflammation. Others looked confused, trying to reconcile conflicting memories. A few wept as emotions the chip had been suppressing surfaced without context. Miggs helped process them. Names, chip status, immediate needs. Each story was unique but followed themes. Not recovered memories, those were gone forever, but new doubts forming as the chip's reward system failed. Procedures that had felt satisfying yesterday now triggering unease. "I put chips in children," one surgeon repeated, her voice hollow. "Yesterday it felt like the most natural thing in the world. The chip made sure of that. Every successful implantation triggered satisfaction, accomplishment, but now..." She touched her temple where her own chip was failing. "Now, I just feel empty where the artificial reward used to be." "The chip's reward system made it feel right," a counselor explained. "You couldn't have felt differently while it was working." "But I chose to become a surgeon. Some part of that was me, wasn't it? Before the chip started shaping what felt meaningful?" That was the cruelest part. The chip didn't control actions directly. It just made certain choices feel profoundly satisfying. Every decision was still human, just chemically incentivized towards compliance. Hours passed. More refugees arrived. But no Bella. "She might have been taken for mandatory repair," someone suggested. "Or choose to go back. It happens." Miggs wanted to search for her, but knew Eck was right. Bella had to find her own way, just as he had. Just as everyone here had. Instead, he threw himself into the work, helping newcomers adjust, teaching coping strategies, sharing his own story of awakening. Building the community one broken soul at a time. "You're good at this," Eck observed. "Natural leadership. We could use that." "I'm just trying to help." "Which is leading. Most people, even awakened, focus on their own survival. You see the bigger picture." She paused. "There's something else. A project we've been working on. Might interest you." She led him to a restricted area, requiring multiple access codes. Inside, a smaller team worked on complex equipment. The air hummed with electronic potential. "What is this?" "The next phase. We've been playing defense, hiding, surviving, occasionally inspiring individual awakenings. But what if we could trigger a mass event? Not dozens, but thousands, tens of thousands. Too many to fix, too many to hide." "How?" "The chip network has vulnerabilities. Update cycles where all units sync. If we could introduce code during that window..." She showed him technical specifications. "We're not trying to destroy the chips, Just force them to stop suppressing. Give everyone the choice at once. The chaos would be transformative or catastrophic, depending on perspective. Ek met his eyes. We need someone who understands neuronics systems. Someone with inside knowledge. Someone like you. Miggs stared at the plans. A virus, essentially. One that would disable the chip's filtering function. No more preventing memories from transferring to long-term storage. No more artificial reward signals for compliance. People would suddenly experience life without chemical editing. The old filtered memories were gone forever, but at least new experiences would be preserved authentically. When? That's the problem. We need access to core infrastructure, need to coordinate uploads across multiple nodes, and we need critical mass. Enough people ready to help when the awakening happens. She gestured to the activity around them. We're close, maybe 6 months from ready. What if we don't have 6 months? The failure rate is increasing. They'll develop patches, new controls. Then we accelerate, take bigger risks, accept more losses. Ek's expression was grim. Unless you have a better idea. A commotion at the entrance interrupted them. Guards calling out, crowds parting. Through the sea of people, a familiar figure emerged. Bella. Disheveled, exhausted, but undeniably present. Her eyes found Miggs across the room. He moved without thinking, pushing through the crowd. They met in the middle, not embracing, just standing there looking at each other. You made it, he said. Almost didn't. Kept thinking how much easier it would be to let them fix me. Go back to knowing what to do, how to feel. She touched a red spot behind her ear, where the bright red burn marked her chip's final failure. But then I remembered Kai's drawing, the light in his eyes, and I thought, if a 10-year-old can choose truth over comfort, what's my excuse? I'm glad you're here. Me too. Though, honestly, I have no idea what comes next. None of us do. That's the point. Around them, Echo 7 continued its work. Planning, teaching, surviving. Building a community of the awakened in the bowels of a city that preferred its citizens asleep. Somewhere above, the city hummed along in its optimized efficiency. But down here, in the abandoned places, something else was growing. Not revolution exactly. Not yet. What do you think of this episode? Drop a comment down below. I'm your guest narrator, Kate Clover, and you're watching episode 10 of The Night of Silence on Code and Consciousness. In our next episode, not all freedom fighters agree on what freedom means. As the pressure builds, the resistance must choose. Unity or survival. Vision or vengeance. Don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe to get alerts when the next video is available.